evening, Ram fans, and happy Monday. I'm Rachel Hallam.
And I'm Ethan Bird. The Kansas City Chiefs are the 54th Super Bowl champions, and we have Rose Carter here to join us today to break down the huge win. Welcome, Rose. I wish you could see it. She's got her Chiefs pants on right now. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Oh, I just can't even put into words what this means to be a Chiefs fan right now, what this means for the city of Kansas City. We don't expect things like this.
Okay, now after the AFC Championship, a great comeback in that one, and then another fantastic comeback in the Super Bowl, what does this mean for Patrick Mahomes and having a coach like Andy Reid?
Well, I think Andy Reid, he's one of the best coaches out there. The only thing that wasn't on his resume was a Super Bowl. Now he has that. But I think what we also need to focus on is it's not just Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They trust in each other as a team, and that could be seen in the Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes didn't have a great 3.5 quarters, but the team stepped up when they needed to.
Well, it seems like all of the pieces are in place for the Chiefs, and Andy Reid is one of the best drafting coaches in the league. So could this be the start of a dynasty?
I think it could. You saw how they came back 3 games straight, down double digits each game. They have all the pieces in place. I think they could do it.
Well, for the sake of my Broncos, I really hope not. And for the sake
I'm
of your
right there with
Chargers,
my Chargers.
it's tough being in the West. Well, thank you, Rose, for joining us. We look forward to having you back with us near the end of the show. But continuing on with crazy games, Moby Madness was in full effect this week when the CSU Rams went 2 straight games with extra strength behind them.
And after the buzzer-beater win against Nevada on Wednesday, Nico Medved's powerful roster faced off against the UNLV Rebels with a strong orange out in support.
Game starts off with some hot defense. Kendall Moore, one of the best defensive guys on the team, gets a steal on the inbound, but he gets denied, rejected, chased down. These things happen. Hard to start a game like that.
Moore's going to be in it again after Isaiah Stevens will dribble under the basket, pass it to the outside, and Moore will drain a 3 to get the Rams within 5 points.
Is it even men's basketball highlights without a buzzer beater from Isaiah Stevens? Not as dramatic to end the half, but I mean, the dude's a walking bucket. I mean, what do you expect?
And after being down 8 in the second half, Donnie Tillman is going to fight hard for the Rebels and get the and one on this basket.
Rams, they had good ball movement in this one. Moore to Carvacho, to Hiron Edwards Jr., corner 3, splash. Good night, UNLV. Doesn't get much better from here.
Defense continued to be hot all night as Hiron Edwards Jr. will get the steal, drive it down the basket, and Tanjay will finish with a slam dunk.
Sometimes it feels like you can't spell Adam Thistlewood without 3. I mean, you can't. The letters aren't there, but he hits enough of them. You may as well put him there. I'm pretty sure this is where they started the buses.
And even though they were down by so much, UNLV will still get that last shot off in the game, but it won't even matter at this point because the game was over.
And the Rams would leave their mark on UNLV with the final score being 95-77. And after the game, Isaiah Stevens and Nico Medved spoke on the electric crowd from Saturday.
Oh, man, the fans, when they really get going, I feel like they're a difference maker for sure. And so being able to hit a shot like that, it really got them a little bit more energy, especially going into the second half. And I felt that they played a key piece in our runs and our momentum down the stretch there in that second half.
And speaking of Stevens, after 2 outstanding performances in the past 2 games, averaging 16.5 points while shooting 68.8% from the field, and hitting 2 buzzer beaters, including the game winner against Nevada, freshman Isaiah Stevens was named Mountain West Player of the Week, making him the first CSU freshman in the modern era to receive such an honor, and just the 17th true freshman in Mountain West basketball history.
Well, you might as well just slap the Freshman Player of the Year award on Isaiah Stevens' back. I mean, Coach Medved said it on Wednesday after he hit that buzzer beater. The kids just got it.
Absolutely, but you can't count out Roddy yet.
No. They're going to be battling back and forth. I mean, either way, I think that Freshman Player of the Year is going to come to Fort Collins. And after a tough loss in Reno last week, the Rams look to secure momentum against UNLV on Saturday in women's hoops. Here, Laura DeVos will start to get the scoring going for the Rams, hoping to heat them up with a 3.
But UNLV's Justice Etheridge will hit this 3 to bring the Rebels within 2 points.
This clip is just textbook good basketball. Jacobs will go in, miss a shot, but this is why you follow your shot, comes up with second chance points.
And Etheridge once again is going to take it down the basket by herself and get that nice little layup to bring them again within 2.
With both teams battling, so is Mackenzie Ellis with a tough and one underneath the basket, and that's going to help put some momentum in the Rams' hands.
And who better to finish the game than Justice Etheridge once again, draining a 3 with 20.7 seconds left to put the Rebels up by 1, taking that momentum.
The Rams would walk out of Cox Pavilion with a tough loss, 56-52.
And after the game, head coach Ryan Williams knew what his team needs to practice. He says, "We have to make shots. It's that simple. We had 4 turnovers down the stretch that were silly, and we were having trouble getting the ball in bounds. At the end of the day, we shot 13%. I see what I think are good shooters and good looks, but we aren't making them."
It's just a tough loss for the women's basketball team after climbing to a 500 record last week. Hopefully, they'll be able to do a little bit more this week.
Absolutely, and it's great to hear that Ryan Williams has a confidence in his team, and he knows what they need to get done and they need to fix. Now, with that being said, the CSU women's basketball team finally returns home to Moby on Wednesday. Hunter, what should we expect from the matchup?
Well, that last time that Fresno State and the Rams faced off came down to a nail-biter. Now the Rams will be at home. Could that Moby Madness advantage help them clutch? I'll let you know what to look for next.
Hi, I'm your host, Smokey Colbert. Filling in for Smokey, because after 75 years of...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Turns out there's much more to say. Nearly 90% of wildfires are caused by us humans being careless, dumping our used barbecue coals willy-nilly. Guess the song was wrong. We did start the fire. That's why I respect Mother Nature and her trees, whether coniferous or new car scented. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back from the break. This week, the focus turns to the women's basketball team. The Rams are on a 2-game losing streak and sit in 7th place in the Mountain West. What better way to get back in the win column than by taking down the top team in the Mountain West? A rematch between the Rams and the Fresno State University Bulldogs will take place Wednesday. The Bulldogs are undefeated in conference play and are on a 10-game winning streak. However, last time the teams met up, the Bulldogs were put to the test. The Bulldogs only won by 2 points and were inconsistent from behind the arc, only making 4 of their 21 3-point attempts. If the Rams are to shut down this Fresno State team, it will have to be with a strong interior defense and consistent scoring. Fresno State has only lost 4 games this season. Each time their opponent has scored over 70 points. Colorado State has only scored more than 70 in 6 games this season. However, there is one player that has started to heat up for the Rams. Mackenzie Ellis has led her team in points the last 3 games and is averaging 11 points per game. Ellis also led her team with steals. 28 steals on this season. The graduate student has experience to lead the team by example, and that is exactly what her team needs to win the game. Well, Rams, that's all I have for you this week on Hunter's Hotspot, but the Kansas City Chiefs finally won a Super Bowl after a 49-year drought. Ethan and Rachel, what does that mean?
Well, now that the Super Bowl is over, it's time for Denver fans to turn their eyes to the NFL Draft. What weapons do they need? Well, I'll let you know.
And the NCAA is now looking at a new transfer rule that the Big Ten is looking to establish. Stay tuned to find out the effect this will have on college athletes.
I got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. get on. It's very sad when we're alone. All that I could do was remember you. And now I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
With 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, the Broncos will be looking to add pieces to their already young and exciting core. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before, but the Broncos will use the 15th pick on an offensive lineman. Kristen Wirfs is a 6'5", 322-pound offensive tackle out of the University of Iowa. Wirfs is one of the most dynamic and athletic offensive linemen in the draft. He has strong hands and quick feet that will fit nicely into new offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur's offense. Now, the Broncos have needs at wide receiver, interior D-line, and cornerback, but with their second pick, the Broncos should take a wide receiver. And that guy will be Jalen Reagor out of TCU. Cortland Sutton is the Broncos' #1 receiver, but what they miss most in the receiving department is speed. And with a 4.29 40-yard dash, Reagor will be an easy remedy for that. He has the potential to be a walking highlight reel with Sutton, and as his claim to fame is going up for contested footballs. The Broncos have a ton of positions to fill and questions to answer, but we will have to wait until April 23rd to see what happens.
And before an athlete can even dream of those NFL dreams, college ball is the step to take before. But with that comes concerns for transferring. Flexibility has become the biggest concern with transferring student athletes, especially, most recently, in the realm of the Big Ten Conference. Since October 15th of this past year, transferring in college football specifically has been on the easier side with the introduction of the NCAA's transfer portal. With the creation of the portal, student athletes have been given the power to be as transparent as ever and prove they can show their desire in possibly changing programs. Most waivers having come from men and women's basketball and football, it's apparent the transfer portal has been helpful. Now, back in October, the conference made the decision to propose athletes be given the opportunity to transfer one time during their career and not be forced to sit out for the season. With the transfer rule currently, all men's and women's basketball, baseball, hockey, and football are required to sit out in the first season after their transfer. If the proposal were to be adopted by the NCAA and the Big Ten Conference, we could be saying goodbye to transfer waivers and hello to immediate eligibility after a transfer in all sports. Now, even though this proposal still needs to be voted on and passed by the NCAA, outlook is good for the Big Ten Conference, all of its student athletes, and quite possibly the rest of the NCAA.
Well, this is important because it allows teams and athletes to benefit directly after a transfer. Because when you sit out for a whole season, yeah, you get better, but how do you bond with your team, you know?
Absolutely, and isn't that what they're looking for when they transfer? They want to go to a place where they can bond with those teammates and that they can play. So why not give them the chance to transfer and play right after?
Let the kids play. Well, last week was one wild week for sports. Ellison, what are your top plays we should be looking out for?
From the CSU men's basketball team with the hot hand to the Super Bowl comeback to Zion Williamson continue to turn heads, I have all the top highlights that we can't stop talking about on Hubbard's Huddle coming up next.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and to this week's Hubbard's Huddle. I'm Ellison Hubbard, and tonight I have more top 5 plays of the week that you must see. Let's break the huddle, starting with number 5. Top play of the day, we have Nico dunking on a Nevada defender. Man, that is a big dude. I would not want to be in the way of him. That is kind of scary. But now we're going on to number 4. Number 4, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus Zion and the Pelicans. They drive down the court trying to look for Zion, I'm sure. Passes it to him, and Colin Sexton, the man from Georgia, sends that shot out of bounds. That is huge for a 6'1" guard to knock out Zion's shot, dunk, whatever you want to call it. Going on to number 3, we have Isaiah Stevens and the Ag Day Rams versus UNLV. Here we go. UNLV trying to make a move, trying to get a shot in, bricks the shot, rebound by the Rams, pass it down the floor. Kendall Moore going over there, passing the ball, shot up by Stevens, 3 at the buzzer. Going into halftime, 41-36. I was at that game, and that crowd was excited. Now we're at number 2. We have the Super Bowl 54. Jimmy G trying to make a comeback happen, throwing the ball deep, and in the words of Randy Moss, you just been mossed. Intercepted by Fuller. Look at that, game is over. Man, I wish I was at that game, but that was huge watching it at the house. And with the number 1 spot, we have the Rams playing Nevada. Man, Stevens going over there, taking ankles, pulling up. Ooh, shot made and the buzzer beater to win the game. Look at CSU celebrate because I'm happy. I wish when football comes, everybody's going to be like that. But that concludes another week of Hubbard's Huddle. Don't go anywhere because Rachel, Ethan, Hunter, and me will sit down to answer your burning questions for this week on Down in the DMs. Stay tuned.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back, Ram fans. We asked you to send us some of your top sports questions, and tonight's question comes from Angel Cooper. And she asks, will the Nuggets make the NBA Finals this year? Hunter, why don't you start us off with this one? What do you think?
Definitely not. That is a hard no. There's so many other teams that they're going to have to go through in the playoffs that it's just no. No.
Hard no. No chance.
Definitely a hard no.
Okay, we'll see. All right, Rachel, let's hear it.
Well, for me, we talked about this before. I'm a huge Lakers fan. I got to go with my boys. And after what's happened in the past, I think that LeBron's actually going to take these guys on his back. And they're going to get to I think that they're a huge threat against the Nuggets.
You know, you can have threat after threat after threat after threat in the NBA, but when you've got a big Serbian man who hits clutch shots and ends shots, you can't be beat. You can't be beat. This week, Nikola Jokic, I mean, he's a triple-double threat every game. I mean, he's now one of 4 centers in NBA history with 5 30-point triple-doubles. Who else is with him? Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon. These are the guys of legends, and Nikola Jokic will be considered the guy that revolutionized the center position. He can pass, he can play defense, he can shoot, he can do it all. And to me, with Jamal Murray, Paul Millsap, Michael Porter Jr., there's no one the Nuggets can't beat. So yes, they will be in the finals, in my humble opinion.
Okay, I do like the added little bit of Michael Porter Jr. He has been stepping it up for the Nuggets, and we talked a little bit about him before, but I think that he's definitely made quite an impact. But like I said, I can't go against my hometown California boys.
Are you watching the same clutch shots I'm watching? I mean,
You say
What big man does that? Karl Anthony Towns could never.
You
Joel Embiid could never.
Ethan, you're saying they can't be beat, but they're going to have to play teams like the Rockets who have beat them twice already this year.
And you live in your life. You live in your life, but that doesn't mean they're going to beat them every time in a series. What do you think, Rose? I'm 10 talking these first.
I would disagree with you, though.
Oh, of course you do.
Because I want to say that the Lakers are going to take it all. They have the added passion with everything that happened with Kobe, so I think they're extra motivated.
Man, I love everybody's opinions right here, but I'm agreeing with Hunter and Rachel right here. Not on the Lakers, though. Not on Lakers. But the Nuggets are not going to the finals. You're not beating the Rockets. You're not beating the Clippers. You're not beating the Lakers. You're not beating Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers. I mean, what? He pulls up from half court. Man, what?
What's their record?
Oh, my gosh.
They're not even top 8.
It doesn't matter. They're still good.
Poorly like,
look, if I'm watching the Nuggets, I tell my roommate this at home because he's as huge of a Nuggets fan as you are. I'm like, you are tripping right now. You think last year he thought they were going to beat the Warriors. I'm like, what?
Could have.
But did he? No,
they did lose.
We always say should have, would have, could have.
They get older every year and they get more experience every year. I mean, how many guys do we have under 25 and we're the second best team in the West?
But are they there yet?
They're there right now. They're proving it. Look at their record.
But if they make it to the finals, that's the next step. If they do make it to the finals, do they even have the opportunity to win?
The finals is the next step. I mean, they made it deeper into the playoffs more than they've gone in the past 10 years. They'll make it to the first round. They'll make it to the second round. They'll make it to the finals. Take that to the
So you're saying in 3 years they'll be in the finals?
They're not going to choke the
Even if they make it into the
Do I need to put
finals,
money
they're
on this
gonna
right now?
choke. There's no chance
I'd
of
rather
it.
see the Hawks do it than the Nuggets. And the Hawks.
It doesn't matter who you rather would. You can do it.
Oh, the Nuggets aren't going to do it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, whatever.
That's all I'm saying.
You're kind of alone in this one there, Ethan.
Yeah, don't talk to me after this. Moving into the football world with Super Bowl 55 a whole year away. Well, what's better to do than make some way too early Super Bowl picks? Hunter, start us off.
So I'd like to start off saying that I picked both teams. I picked the Ravens to go and the Saints to go, and I have the Saints winning that.
Okay, so I didn't know we were picking
Interesting.
both.
Yeah, I didn't know we had
I know, I knew you would.
I can't believe you even said that on TV. And I'm wearing all black with gold. This hurts. But you chose the Saints. Oh, man.
You need reasons why, because they have Kamara.
Drew Brees is not doing anything right now. As clearly as he had 2 times to do it and he didn't do it.
Who was the offensive player?
Minnesota Vikings beat them, man. The Vikings. Shout out to BC. I love you, man. But what?
They have too much. I think they have too much offensive power now, and they're gonna figure it out next year.
With the Falcons beat them twice.
I don't know. I think it kind of went to their head a little bit.
On Thanksgiving Day, when I'm eating turkey with the Falcons, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to call you and go like, Hunter, no.
All right, Rach.
All right, for my pick, even though you've already gotten a lot of backlash on your pick, I'm going to get a lot on mine, of course. But I have to go with my boys. I got to go with the Chargers. 2020 is their year. And my only reason I can say this is because it is Super Bowl 55, and who better to recognize than Junior Seau? This has to be their year. That's his number. He's an icon, a legend with the Chargers. It's going to be their year. I'm telling you, that's what's happening.
I think that they should wait a couple years until it's in LA and then win it in LA.
That's going to be.
No, we don't. But I don't like talking about that part.
Okay, we'll move on. When you're making way too early picks.
Way too early
picks.
Okay,
The best pick is the homer pick. The best pick is the homer pick. The Broncos, Drew Lock, roll the tape. Show me some Drew Lock. It's going to make me real happy. Drew Lock is the future in Denver. Cortland Sutton is the future in Denver. Noah Fant is the future in Denver.
On.
I mean, come on. It's been since Peyton Manning left that I've been able to watch a quarterback run out of that tunnle with any type of swag. Any type of confidence.
You're saying Peyton Manning had swag.
He had confidence. He had confidence.
Did you see
He came out with confidence.
The giant purple bruise on his head every time he took
so
off
what?
the helmet?
Okay.
How is that some
How many
swag right
times
there?
did he beat
Please
the
tell me
Chargers
how
in the
that's
years that he
swag.
was there? I don't want to hear it from you
Yeah,
or
the Chargers
you.
are kind of
What I mean
shut
is, I
down
haven't watched. We haven't watched our quarterback run out of that tunnel with confidence since Peyton Manning, or feeling confident we can win games. In all of the games that Drew Lock played, I felt confident. The Chiefs Chiefs can get it. Chargers can get it. Anybody can get it.
Okay.
Go Broncos.
Okay. Good season in the West then.
Let me say something here.
All right, let's hear
First
it,
of
Rose.
all,
Let's hear it,
when you were
Rose.
talking about who they're going to draft, you said we need to draft a fast wide receiver because you have
Oh, you're gonna
Cortland
bring
Sutton.
this back
But
up.
guess
Of course.
who the Chiefs have? Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman,
Yes.
Sammy Watkins.
There you
Yes.
go.
What?
I
That
mean-
doesn't even.
Yeah, I mean, they're
I-
probably the front runner. I'll have to agree with you, but I've got to make my own pick here.
Well,
Yeah, but it's not a great pick.
Yeah, it's not a good
I think
I'd
it's
like
better
I'd
than
like
the
to
Chargers
focus
pick
on
right
Ethan's
now.
pick right now and say that he
Go ahead
said
and
the
focus
future
on
3 times. Super Bowl 55 is the present now.
It's
This
the
is
future.
next
Technically,
season,
has
so-
it happened?
so
Is it
it's
happening
the
right now?
You should look to Super Bowl 60 and
technically
hope
on
that
the road
everybody
to it
is
right now.
out of the league by then. Then we'll go.
Bradley Chubb will be back, and you'll be
Well,
sorry.
Let me tell you why the Chiefs are going to repeat.
Oh.
We have a young team, a defense that has stepped up. Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu.
I do like Tyrann Mathieu.
That's right. So how? Okay, you chose the Broncos. You chose the Chargers.
That's
How
worse.
are you going to be the best team in the league when you're not even the best team in the division?
It took
It's going to be a good competition this season between the West. I'm kind of excited
look,
for
it
that
took
part
your coach
specifically.
forever to win the Super Bowl. So good luck with that
Hey,
one.
but he has one, so come on.
I love him. Give him respect. His son is
Go
my
ahead,
friend.
go ahead and say your
Yeah,
pick.
come on. Give it a pick
It's
out.
the Atlanta Falcons, everybody. I'm a huge fan of the Falcons. Show that clip right there. Julio is the man. I hope he stays in Atlanta though right now because Matt Ryan is kind of giving me a heartache, and so is Julio. I'm sure.
How can
But-
you say there's a heartache going and you're
Okay,
gonna
but
say
look
they're
here,
gonna win
because
it?
we still got draft picks. I mean, shoot, we might get more people, and we need to. First off, we need to fix Vic Beasley because right now he's an unrestricted free agent, and if you can't find an edge rusher like him, then your defense is kind of everywhere right now. But I still believe because we had a strong ending to our season, even though it was not a good one. So we're going to start off the season strong and finish strong. And the Falcons going to go back and not blow a lead. I don't want to hear nothing about the Super Bowl because I know somebody's going to bring it up. They're going
But
to win.
you did have big games that you did win
Exactly.
this season.
The Eagles.
And it was kind of a
No offense,
surprise,
they suck,
but still.
The Eagles. The Saints.
Who are you doing it with? Matt Ryan?
Yeah, Matty
Matty
Ice, one more
Ice,
time.
let's go.
I'm
Matt
telling you.
Ryan looks like I could pick him up off the street and he'd tell me about his 401k and his mortgage. The dude ain't got that much
He can do it
Okay,
before Drew
Bob looks
Brees.
much better. He looks like he's 12 on the sideline.
Yeah, you
I
can
would-
still
I would
run.
agree.
What song was he rapping? Kodak or something? Like, come on, man.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah, you beat whoever.
Okay.
Well, it's safe to say we cannot get in any agreement in this conversation.
There will be
Not
no
at all.
agreement.
Not at all.
Well, Rams, that is all that we have for you tonight. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sports_CTV. Thank you for joining us, Rose. I'm Ethan Bird.
I'm Hunter Fillmore.
I'm Ellison Hubbard.
And I'm Rachel Hallam. Tune back in tomorrow for more news from the people you know and to see Brendan Fairbairn and Erica Johnson talking about who they think will be the Mountain West Freshman of the Year. We'll see you next week.